Greetings, managers. This is the Warden speaking. Sancho is the
5th
boss of the Canto VII dungeon. Weakness is shown here. The first few turns can easily be won with the auto win wheel and is a way to farm more ego resources. Sinners who cannot win here may be a liability, but could just be bad luck on your end. If you fail, simply restart until you win all clashes to guarantee victory. Due to this, my N-Corp team struggles against her. However, I still managed to defeat her. Avoid using egos when Sancho uses only Topple and Wound. These attacks are much weaker compared to others in her kit. Sancho has multiple phases, depending on the percentage of her health. Her passive, the Enthralling Tales, the Beating Passion, gives her this. At 80%, 60%, and 40% HP, she no longer takes damage and changes her pattern. And during these phases, a cutscene will play. Your main goal is to rush her down to these thresholds as quickly as possible. An important thing to note is to watch out using egos when near these thresholds. On top of Blood Beast, Sancho's main passive component is Armadura de Sangre, or Blood Armor. Each stage increases her offense and defense level, speed, and is a resource for special attacks. Another important thing is another passive, if we can be freed from this excruciating sickness. This passive allows Sancho to heal 40% of the damage dealt if the target has bleed, gaining plus 1% more HP for every bleed on herself, up to 20%. Allowing some of her devastating attacks to go through can instantly turn the fight. Letting her win the Unbreakable clashes can let her sustain while making herself more powerful. Pay attention to these parts of the fight, and the boss can be defeated. Now, how do you deal with Unbreakable coins, clashes, or attacks? For a non-AoE Unbreakable attack, try to have the slowest sinner, or the one furthest to the right to make the clash. That way, you maximize your damage, which maximizes the chance to reach the staggered threshold. This is the one exception to the rule of using egos while near the threshold bar. As Sancho gets stronger, you'll have to use your egos to scrape on by, turn by turn. Even with my extremely weak and countered N-Corp team, using the properly timed egos will sustain you in the fight. However, if it's an AoE attack, have only one sinner focus on the clash. Rest of the sinners should defend, especially if they have dodge, but do not use counter if possible. Better if you attack with them for damage. And double check to make sure these attacks aren't clashing. I repeat myself on the importance of winning the clash, but that's because winning the clash fixes the Unbreakable coins to their minimum power, thus lowering the damage. And lastly, any debuffs that binds, paralysis, offense level down, lowering sanity will help immensely in these cases. Within this fight, find openings and commit it with an ego. After her 80% HP threshold, a cutscene plays. She is staggered, so just attack the chip and damage. After this, it's wise to clash with regular attacks or use the auto win wheel. Take this moment to get some affinity resources before the next wave attacks. This pattern repeats for each threshold with stronger attacks. Around the last phase, Sancho uses variant Don Quixote style, Sancho Arts 2 La Sangre. Overclocking an ego is one way to boost your coin value. As always, especially with the hard ones, this entire boss fight is in the description below. Good luck, managers. Warden out.